It's gonna be a bumpy walk.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what, good thing to say, I doubt people will stand up to something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt.
I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, February 6th. We don't care about Groundhog's Day anymore. That's in the past. That was last Friday. I know we don't care. The groundhog did not see his shadow. It is going to be, and the winter will come to a conclusion earlier than expected. It's going to be an early spring. I don't know why that makes me happy, because maybe I'm old school and I rely less on the weather app and more on our dear friend, the groundhog. Anyway, before I bring in our fabulous guest and a good friend of mine, I have a show to promote. Yes, that's right. You have one more chance to see me pregnant and headlining. And that is going to be this month in just a few weeks. I'm going to be headlining in Morris Plains, New Jersey, Saturday, February 24th at Tiff's Ale House, 8:30 show. This venue is also known as the Dojo of Comedy. It's a great venue. Gosh, I missed their very strong drinks. They have good food too. They have good burgers. Like it's a good spot for food and drink, and the comedy is always good. And I don't just say that because I'm a regular here. Keanu Thompson, my dear funny friend, will be featuring for me, and Andrew Harms, my announcer from Wet Spot on Compound Media, will be there as well doing a spot. He is hilarious. If you haven't seen Keanu or Andrew, come just to see them, you know. But this will be my last sort of pregnant headlining show. Then I'll probably do smaller spots around the city or wherever. But come one, come all. And then I'm going to have a baby in 10, 11 weeks. What? I don't believe it. I'm in denial. Okay. You've seen her on Simcast. You know her. You love her. You've seen her on various content houses. I'm sure you already follow her on TikTok. Maybe TikTok. How old did I just sound? Maybe you've subscribed to her OnlyFans. Maybe not. Maybe you just love her for her viral Twitter rants. Welcome to the show, LeeAnn Starr.
Hola. TikTok.
I really am turning into my mom when she would just...
I'm sure I'll be banned off there soon. It's so stupid now because my main account got banned, so I don't even care anymore.
What were you banned for? Did they tell you?
No. Do they ever tell you? I'm sure
not on the TikTok, so I don't know how they roll. I've never day one. I haven't
have any guidelines. They're kind of like YouTube. They just kind of make it up as they go along. Like there'll be actual like women on live breastfeeding a child that's like 5 years old, okay, talking about their OnlyFans at the same time, and they'll still be there. But if you say like, hey, the left is crazy, there's two things. I don't know if you could say that on here. Okay, I won't say that either. But yeah, you do that, you're done. So yeah, I don't know.
I think we can say gender on YouTube. Wow.
Oh, you can? I don't know.
Yeah, because TikTok is all Chinese. It's all Chinese.
Yeah, I thought they wanted to corrupt us. So let us fucking then do it. Like, why can't we just speak of whatever? Have us fighting civil war on TikTok? But no. That's why I'm confused by their tactics. Like, are you trying to poison us, or are you like, I don't understand like what they're doing.
Tactics. Yeah.
They don't make sense.
They don't make sense. Before we went live, we were talking about like just so much has changed, and we were talking about like a friend of ours that the difference, because I was like, I can't believe I'm going to have a baby, and then there's such a difference between, it's like I feel like most women, it's like they're either like, I probably could have slept with a few less people, or they're like, man, I married my high school sweetheart. I married my college sweetheart. I
Mhm.
had the kids right away, and now I feel like there's more to life, and I haven't really fostered any type of hobbies or interests within myself, and I feel sort of depleted and empty and loss of identity. It's like this one or the other, and you're gonna
Existential
get shamed
crisis.
for either one.
Yeah. That
I
happens a lot, man, to girls I know that got married young.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I won't have that problem. But I also
No,
don't want to get married because that's just I don't need that. It's just like giving money to the government and then they're in your business. So I don't really need that. I don't really care about that part of it. Like I don't want them to know anything as it is. So let alone like who I'm living with and things like that. Like fuck you.
I wonder what, because just got married. I wonder like what money you have to give to the government, like what you have to, like, I know that you
Mhm.
get some
You
kind
have
of
to like
tax
pay for your
benefits.
license and shit like that. So
Yeah, but that's cheap. That's like $100 or something for a
yeah, but they're
marriage
still
license.
taking money. They don't need any more of my money. Okay. Like they already take enough. And what am I getting out of it? Nothing. Nothing at
Maybe
all.
I think we paid more for the organist than we paid for the marriage license, but yeah, I understand. I used to never want to get married. I looked at my parents and I was like, "Why do I want to sign up for a lifetime of resentment and not feeling appreciated?" They were not a great example, and if I hadn't met Frank, I probably would have still been in that
Yeah.
mental space,
Yeah, I'm not
but
like totally against it. It's just like I don't feel like I don't know what the benefits are of it, honestly. Plus, like, I don't want to take someone's stuff. Like, that wouldn't happen
no,
anyway.
I
Like,
have no interest, like, even if
no,
Frank and I
like,
were
I
to
don't want to do that.
somehow I don't at all see this happening, but if our relationship were to completely crash and burn, I would have 0 interest in taking any of his shit. I know people are like, "Oh, you say that now," but I truly don't. Like,
I don't want to take anything that I didn't earn or
I would
like that
just walk
wasn't mine to begin with.
away.
Like, I don't know. I believe in karma, so
Yeah.
I don't want to do that to someone. Like,
Karma is so real. I look at all how
I
my
believe it.
ex-boyfriends have ended up. They're all in bad shape, okay? That's definitely karma.
Yeah, I've actually seen it in action. That's why I believe it like 100%. I believe it. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that to someone. I don't know. I just would never do that anyways. Like marry someone, then just to take all their stuff and leave them with nothing.
No, and I think that's
Mm,
why it's good that I waited. Like, I waited till I was damn sure. Like,
yeah,
I think I got married at the time most people get second married. So I'm like, I got over my, youthful, stupid ways. I think I'm settled in the person I'm gonna be.
yeah.
So, I don't know, people
That's good
but
though.
then
You
but
waited.
then you have, like, the red pill and uber Christian conservatives being like, "Oh, you gotta get married right away and have kids," but it's like, ooh, I don't know. If I got married at 22, 24, I would've picked the wrong guy.
Yeah.
If I picked the guy I was with at 26, it would've been the wrong guy. But maybe
Yeah,
I didn't have good
exactly.
taste. I clearly didn't have good taste in guys,
Mm-mm.
all throughout
Sometimes
my
people
20s.
know. I mean, that's not like unheard of, but it's like, why would you wanna get stuck with someone that, like, ends up treating you like shit because you don't know any better or, you don't meet anyone else that treats you differently? I don't know, I just don't think it's a good
Yeah,
idea.
and I don't
And
like the
then they
idea
end up
like,
taking
well,
your stuff.
you're a certain age, you have to settle down, and it's like, God, I just remember every other guy I've been with tried to change me in some fundamental way. Like, I remember, my really second serious boyfriend. It was while I was still doing improv, and he was getting his graduate degree at Columbia, I just felt this pressure from him, like I was less than for not having a master's or like I had a
Mm,
bachelor's. I had a like classic
yeah.
bachelor's degree. But I wasn't shit unless I had an advanced degree or I had a he
Oh
because his
god.
sister was a massage therapist. He's like, "You gotta go be a massage therapist. You gotta get licensed." So I'm like at this open house for massage therapy licensing. And I'm just like,
What the fuck?
I remember talking to my mom. She's like, Chrissy, you're going to have to massage fat people. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, no, you're right.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that before too. One of my friends did it, and she was like, "It's a gross more times than not." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I could do that." I'm like already weird about people touching me, so for me to do that, I don't know, man.
I
Mm-mm.
think the pressure should be less off of get married, have kids, start family. It should be like figure out how to pick a good partner. Like, let's
Yeah.
start with that.
Because if you don't, then if you have kids, they're just gonna suffer like a lot of us have with our parents, like fighting. And I mean, like my dad used to beat the shit out of my mother in front of us and be drunk and selling drugs and doing all this shit. Like he changed later in life, but that's what I mean. He changed later after my mom. So she was just fucked, and so were we. And then he changed later. So yeah, I
You're
don't
not
know.
gonna how could you possibly forget that? How old were you when this was happening?
Uh, oh, I don't know. As long as I could like remember, and then they would like break up and then get back together. Like when I was
Oh,
in like
man.
kindergarten, and then they did it a few more times. But he used to like sell drugs and have crazy people at our house, and he would just beat her up in front of us. And I had to like protect my brother and stuff like that. And I actually protect my mom too. So a few times.
Were you the oldest?
Yeah, my brother's 2 years younger than me. My
Damn,
brother
and
would beat the fuck out of someone now, but like.
these are exactly the type of instances where they say that when kids go through them, they grow up faster than they really
Yeah.
should. That you actually were thrust into the parent role, and not to the degree that you're describing with your mom, but I felt like I had to emotionally protect my mom.
Mhm.
And like I did some therapy, but apparently that
Yeah.
what I was doing for her and kind of was like you're as a child you're thrust into this adult role, whereas as like the kid you're supposed to be the one catered to and people are supposed to be checking on your feelings. You're not supposed to be the one to be like, oh, I need to make sure mom is okay, I need to make sure my
Yeah, my
siblings
mom
are
always made
okay.
sure that we were okay, though, like, she did everything, dude, like, she went to school and still worked. Like, we were on welfare and stuff, but she, like, went and did everything to get off of it to, like, be better, she didn't wanna, like, live on it forever. So she, like, went to school and worked and took care of us and all that, so she always made sure, like, we were good. She wasn't like that kinda like, she was, like, a really good mom still. So she just had really shitty choices in men. But it didn't really like I know it people thinks it affects them later. I think it just made me not take anyone's shit because I'm like, nah, you're not gonna do to me what you did to my mom. Like, I will fucking stab you, dude. Like, no. Like that is not gonna happen. So I think
That's
it made
really
me more
good.
like that.
That's like very healthy because a lot of times they'll say like, well, you tend to look for in a man what you
Yeah.
had in the house growing up, or if like you
Mm-mm.
had a violent dad, or like you're like, oh well, that doesn't trigger any kind of anything in my mind that I'm unsafe. I'm used to this. Like I'm used to toxic
Yeah.
behavior. So if you see it again, that's not like a red flag, but it sounds like you were able to recognize that that was all unhealthy.
Yeah, no, fuck that, dude. My dad was great after. Like he was like that for a while and then he got better, especially after he met my stepmom. So he was like my dad was hilarious and shit. He just had that time in his life that unfortunately we were like in because he had a really fucked up childhood too and stuff. Like his mom sold his brother when he was little for like a 6-pack of beer. I don't even know
Sold him
where my
to
uncle is
who?
or like yeah. It was he did
Was it at
not
least a
have, like
good beer?
I don't know. I have no clue. He, like, moved around and changed his name. I tried to find him a few times, but he's probably dead, honestly, because like, my aunt's dead, and I know my cousin one of my cousins died, um, but the other one who is mixed, so I have black family members, but he's like a rapper in Atlanta, but I haven't seen him in like a really long time. But yeah, I think he's like the only one alive that I know of that is from my dad's side of the family. My
Wow.
other aunt
Okay.
was lesbian. I don't know where she is now. Who knows? She could be dead
LeeAnn,
too. I have no idea.
you have a card at your disposal that you're not even using. The whole like I have a black family member.
No,
Like
I know I should be, but but I did grow up in the hood, so I do use that, but because I did. And I'm like, this is not how black people need you to talk to them, like all these like white liberals. I'm like, y'all sound racist. Like they would literally punch you in the head if you came to where I lived. Like the way that you talk and
It's
speak about them,
condescending,
like
isn't it? It's not good.
it's not. I'm like, y'all sound racist as hell. Like they don't need your assistance, okay? Like they
No.
don't. I'm positive. Like what the fuck?
Do
But
you
yeah, I don't even know
feel
what the hell we were talking about, but
do
yeah.
people who know this about your upbringing and like
Yeah,
maybe
girls, if your dad was a piece of shit, don't go look for a piece of shit, okay? Just don't do
right?
that. Stupid. Don't do that.
LeeAnn, do people who know this about your upbringing, do you ever get the whole like, oh, well, look how you grew up. This is why you have an OnlyFans. Do you ever hear that from people?
Yeah, I have before, which I mean, it is true for a lot of girls, but it just didn't I don't think that affected me like with that. Like I just wanted to do it because I don't know. I just wanted to. But I think that is true for a lot of girls. Or they were like molested, a lot of them were, and abused, which I wasn't. I mean, it was like in front of me, but my dad like never beat us up or anything like that. But I don't think it does. I mean, it could subconsciously, but I don't really consider that. Why? Um, I don't know. Especially because I'd done other things too. It wasn't just that the whole time or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe subconsciously, but I don't really let it affect me. Like, at least I don't think so. So I think it made me better because now I just will not put up with that shit. And I can also spot it in like the girls I help sometimes, if I can like tell if they're coming from a home like that. So I guess
How
it's
did
a good life experience
how
in
did
the
you
end, at least.
start to get involved with like victims of sex trafficking or human trafficking?
How did I?
Yeah.
I was when I was dancing, like private parties, they sometimes would call other companies at the same time. And if they did, we would have to leave because we weren't allowed to like be there with them in case they were doing like illegal things. But the one time I didn't leave because I could tell this girl was like terrified and younger. So I had the person keep her there with us, and I had him get her again like a couple days later because I knew that she was young and scared and underage. So
How old do you think
that's
she
how it,
was?
like, started because she was underage. That was, like, the first girl I helped, and I had, this other guy that used to call our agency all the time help me, like, get her back and stuff so I could talk to her because she wouldn't, like, really open up at first, obviously, 'cause she was terrified, but that's how I started. I, like, literally came face to face with it, and I knew she was young. I was like, "This girl is not 18. Like, she is young as
Do you think
hell."
she was like 14?
She was 15.
Oof.
Yeah, she was, like, from Ohio, and it was her friend that went to her high school that pretty much would make her fight with her parents so she would leave, and the guy that she said was her uncle that she lived with was not her uncle, it was her pimp. So they, like, took
Wow.
her from Ohio to PA and was, like, pimping her out on Backpage, and yeah, it was really fucked up.
But right,
So
you
ever
can't do
since
this and go to
then,
school at the same time. You obviously got pulled out of
there's a
school to
lot
be
of
pimped.
girls in high school that are luring girls. It's insane now. There's a lot more, especially since that time. Like it's disturbing. Like there's actually a cheerleading coach that is a grown woman that was luring women for her boyfriend who was pimping them out. And I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, like you can't trust anyone. Like what is happening? Like women are doing this now more than ever." And I know some of them are victims themselves, but some of them aren't. They're just
It
assholes and
sounds
they're
like, Ghislaine Maxwell, and
yeah,
I feel
dude,
like
it's
wasn't she asking
insane.
those girls like, "Hey, do you have any friends?"
Yeah, at high
That's how it
school. She
goes.
was a high school cheerleading coach doing this shit. Like she was having like girls come over her house to practice, but no, dude, she was like grooming them to do things with her boyfriend who was pimping them out.
Yikes.
Like that is insane. That's why I tell parents, I'm like, dude, you really need to know who your kid is around because these bitches are crazy out here. Like
And
I just
it's
don't
different from
understand.
when we were growing up. Like, there was no like, I was maybe 14 just starting to be like, "Oh, I'm getting into, like, a chat room," but I would never
Mhm.
go off with a random person. I would never like try to,
Mm-mm.
there was no like pressure to try to meet up with anybody. And again, there was no social media. So
Yeah, it's
I
so
think like
crazy now.
millennial parents mostly have to be much wiser to this stuff because I think the boomers were really able to get away with not
Yeah.
knowing.
That's why I
Uh,
started talking about it because, like, I've done it for since 2011, but I never really said anything about it. I just did it. But then I realized how many people, especially parents, just did not realize how this works. I don't know why I just assume people know these things. So that's why I even started saying anything. So I'm like, dude, you need to know who your fucking kids are around because this shit is no joke now. It's everywhere. And it's just so weird to me that other women are doing this, especially women in positions like that, like at a high school. Like, are you serious? You're not safe anywhere. Like,
I
not
can't
school.
imagine like what they have to tell themselves. I guess maybe they think, all right, this is gonna validate me to this guy,
I
or
have
this
no
guy
idea.
this guy's gonna like me more if I do this.
Yeah, I know some of them are victims. Like that girl in high school that lured the other girl that I helped, she's obviously too young to understand as well. So yeah, she's a victim, but she was still doing it thinking that she loved this guy and she's helping. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like that is I mean, a grown woman though, I'm sorry, you have a little bit more uh brain power to know what you're doing is wrong and I don't know that I don't give them much leeway there. Like, yeah, you could be a victim, but you're also old enough, like, you're free. He's not holding you. You're going to work. You're doing all these things where you could get help and you're not. So I don't know. It
If
just
somebody
depends, I
if
guess.
somebody has like I guess a middle school age girl, like what would a parent have to really look out for?
They're
'Cause I
friends.
They're
They're
friends.
friends in the internet because the internet is I don't even know. Even little kids on like Roblox are
Mhm.
being targeted for
In the
things like
chat
by
rooms.
old
Yeah.
people. It's disgusting. And my friend, her son had Roblox and she didn't even know this. And then she went and looked in his messages and there was like really disturbing things. And that's just my friend in my real life. So can you imagine how many there are? That's why I tell people if your kid has that game, you really need to look at who they're talking to because for some reason, Roblox is rampant. I don't know why. I don't play Roblox or anything, but like it is insane
Yeah.
how
Oh, for our
many
stepson, we say, like, "Don't tell
it's
anybody
crazy.
your age, where you live, your
Mhm.
name, obviously."
Yeah, and you're a little kid. You're gonna
Yeah.
tell people things, especially when they're pretending to be a kid as well. But they like buy them stuff on that game to make them do things. I don't know exactly what it is about that game, but you can like buy stuff. So I guess kids are
Mhm.
really into that. So they're being like tricked into doing things,
Yeah,
disgusting
like, don't they
things.
get, like, I don't know, skins or different
Yeah.
like a
I know that's,
jacket
like,
or
on
something?
Fortnite, but I don't know. I just it's a lot. I always hear about shit happening on Roblox. It's always fucking Roblox. It's Roblox, and for adults, like, is Plenty of Fish. Like, if you're on a dating site, just do not use that, please. Don't use it. Every single case I have from, someone being, like, assaulted or murdered, it's always Plenty of Fish. Like, for the love of God,
Wow.
don't go on there. Like, if you look it up how many it is, to other dating sites, it is always Plenty of Fish. I don't know what's going on with that, but, like, don't use it. Just don't maybe skip that one because that shit is a mess. I
Oh
don't know
my
what's up with that.
goodness. Yeah,
Don't do
look at
it.
this. It comes up, like, right away. Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
every single time there's, like, a murder or a trafficking, it's always frigging Plenty of Fish. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I don't understand, but just don't use that. Like, there's just so many.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, this is from starting from 2018. Yeah, God,
Yeah,
Plenty of Fish. Yeah.
there's, like, a lot. If you watch, like, the ID channel or anything and you see any of these shows, like Dates from Hell or anything, or it's always Plenty of Fish. Every frigging time. I don't know. Just don't use that, okay? Just use Tinder or whatever, I don't know. Just don't use
Just
that.
talk to people, and I know you're not supposed to talk, you're not supposed to, hit on girls at the gym, but, like, Honestly, that's probably one of the healthiest places to meet somebody is, like, at your gym, at a
Yeah, like the
church. Like,
gym.
don't, like, chat up the girl who's bending over in front of a camera
Yeah,
and, like,
don't
who
do
looks like
that.
she's actually there to
It's
work out. Maybe
yeah,
say
don't
what's
I
up
hope
to
those
her.
girls are just I don't understand. This is why women just are talked to the way they are and stuff because of bitches like that. Like, why do you do shit like that? It's just
You know what it is? It
embarrassing.
comes from, like, you don't have enough legitimate sources of validation. Like, I have never
Yeah.
felt the urge to do that because
How
I was
much
an
validation
athlete.
do you
Like,
need?
I started, like, getting hardcore into diving at 11 years old, and I was started gymnastics at 9, which is too old for gymnastics. You might as well start at
Mhm.
30, but you really should start at 4. But and I started diving at 11, like, joined the diving team at 11. I think I had lessons maybe at 10, and I was really good really quickly, and then stayed with that through college, and it gave me such a deep sense of validation and, like, to actually work at being good at something,
Yeah.
that will carry you through adulthood, and not only does it teach you discipline, but you're not looking for these superficial sources of validation, you're gonna be less and I'm lucky I also grew up at the time I did. I'm sure if there was social media when I was in middle school, I would've
Mm.
it's just very easy to go for that, like, all the likes, I can't
Yeah, it,
imagine you
like,
could.
really just I feel like it's been a more of a downfall in society now than anything. Like, it's good, but more and more as the days go by, I'm like, "This was a mistake," I think. So,
Oh, yeah, and it
mm.
can be it can be very it is very manipulated.
It is,
Um,
I hate it. I'm like, "What the hell is wrong with people?" The shit that they do for like, I get being funny and pranking and all that, but just that shit in the gym really irks me. Like, why are you bending over in front of a dude that's just trying to work out? Why are you filming in a gym? Like, get your own damn gym then, okay? Like, go in your house and do it. Or I don't know. It's just so weird. And then they get mad at the guys from looking. Well, dude, your pants are see through. I'm gonna be looking. Like, what do you mean? Like, I just
and it's
don't.
like, look, if you wanna do that, if you everyone likes to be noticed and feel sexy, but, like, that go out and do that. Like, the gym is
Yeah,
like it's like you're off it's like an office. It's like you're there to work,
I look
and, like, when
homeless at the gym on purpose. Like, I don't want anyone to
I
talk to
wear
me
no
or just
makeup.
no,
Especially
no.
now, I can barely fit into my gym clothes. I'm just like, I'm
Yeah,
breathing
man.
hard."
T-shirt, sweatpants, like, uh-uh. I don't get why women do things like that. And then I see there's so many of them, like, in grocery stores, like, pulling their pants down, and I'm like, "Why are you doing this in the store? Like, why?" Like, I just don't understand what the point is.
It's a
Like, it's not
feedback loop,
shocking.
LeeAnn, because, like, if a lot of girls be like, "Oh, I get attention from my body and
Um,
my sexuality, and that's what ultimately is gonna get me the best results and attention from guys, and that's what works the best, that I'm gonna keep doing that." And I think that's all it
uh,
is. They're like, "Well, I'm just
I
gonna
just
keep
don't
doing what
who are the
works."
people that like it? Like, they're like, "Oh my god, that's so hot." Like, why? Like, "Oh, wow, girl has her fucking ass out at the grocery store in the meat aisle." Like, it's stupid. Like, what do you mean? Like, why are you doing that? I don't know. To me, it's corny. Just the
It
same
is
thing with
corny. It looks desperate.
OnlyFans and shit anymore. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's just overdone. It's overdone.
It's too much like that's
Yeah,
an imbalanced person.
it's not
If, like,
risque
it's too much
anymore.
output, you need to make sure your output and your input in life are about equal. Like, if you gotta make sure because if you're all your sources of validation and positivity are from external sources, like other guys' attention or
Mhm.
likes or whether or not you go viral or whatever. Yeah, if somebody looks at you at the gym, like that all that stuff is so out of your control. It's
It
like
is.
you're relying on other people to make you feel good, and a lot of these women are forgetting about the input aspect of it. Like, what are you putting into yourself? What are you eating? What are
Some of
you
them don't,
reading?
dude. I don't
What
think
who
there's
are you
anything
hanging
up
out with?
there.
Who are you talking to? Are you what are you passionate about? Are you pursuing the things that genuinely give you joy? Are you surrounding yourself with people who uplift you? And then it's like when you start to have a control over the things that validate you and make you feel good, you're not as desperate for the external sources. And women who just focus on the external
Mm,
sources, like they feel empty. And it's like this black hole that can never be filled because
it is.
you rely on other people. And it's like
It's like a huge
you're
problem
giving
with
your
younger
power.
girls too.
Yeah.
Like, they will basically just be in a deep depression if like their account gets banned or if their video doesn't do well. Like there was like that gymnast girl, Olivia something, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Everyone loved
She
her.
was like
She's hot right now.
complaining like to press like, oh, I think I'm shadow banned. My videos only get like 1 million views, like really detrimental to her. I'm like, dude, this is like a mental problem. Like this is not good for you to just base everything your whole life on this shit that could go away any day. Like you could get banned or
Yeah,
it could
Olivia
get
Dunn. Yeah.
down or no one gives a shit about you anymore, which happens a lot. So it's like really bad. They're so addicted to it. They don't have anything else. Like nothing else makes them happy or like that's it. Like that's
Yeah,
their
Olivia
whole
Dunn,
thing.
college gymnast, she became a millionaire at 18 after TikTok fame led to commercial deals. Yeah, everyone is like, I mean, she's beautiful. And you're gonna get this famous and this rich, this young. It's like you better have parents or an aunt or an uncle, somebody who cares about you, who can help you
Mhm.
through this because like it's a dangerous conversation being this beautiful, young, and rich. Like
I
it's
mean,
like
the
you
fact that
can
she was
do
sad that she thought that she was shadow banned because I only get 1 million views, like that's crazy to me. Like, what do you mean? Like, what more do you want? It's like, and then this goes away very fast. And then what?
right.
Like they're all gonna be depressed and they already are. The ones like even like the YouTubers from back in the day that now no one cares about. Like I watch some of them sometimes just to see like how they're doing and I don't know. They all seem like their life is over now because no one
Look at
cares
this.
about them anymore on
NCAA
social
rules
media.
meant the US national team wasn't allowed to make any money from her internet fame. And just think
Mm,
about how much of a distraction, like she's obviously hot, but like now it's not just you're in college gymnastics and you gotta focus on that because like I did Division I sports in college. Like I know how much time and headspace that takes up. But thank God I didn't have to also worry about like being hot while I did it. And
mhm.
am I getting a lot of attention on social media? Like imagine honestly how much better she would be if she didn't have to worry about social
Yeah.
media or looking hot. Well, she could just focus on
I feel
being a
like
good gymnast.
if they made her choose, she probably would choose social media over her gymnastics that she'd been working on her entire life. I feel like she probably would choose social media if she had to pick and
The
just totally
policy
give that up,
the
even though
policy
she
was
did all that work.
dropped in June 2021, with the college athletes now allowed to profit off their image and name. That led her to sign up with WME Sports. She has a sponsorship deal, so it's like probably before she even graduated college. And she'll say, "Oh, I just want to be a role model to young girls." I
No,
think
you
this is just
don't.
the thing you say to sound
Yeah,
like,
they
"No,
always
I
say
don't."
that.
What is she gonna say? The truth is, I just wanna get a lot of attention and money for my
Yes.
looks for the next 10 to 15 years, and then
Mhm.
I'll figure it out then. But instead, no,
Exactly.
I wanna be a role model to young girls. No, you don't, if this
No,
is
you
what you're
don't.
doing. If you're
Like, I can't think of one role model thing that says that. The only one that I can think of that I don't watch is Miss Rachel, who is, like, for babies. Do you know who that is? You're
No.
gonna have a baby, so you should know who Miss Rachel is. I think she's,
I
like, the
should
only, like,
know.
wholesome actual role model. Like, she's like a I guess she has TikTok and stuff like that, but she's, like, for babies, and babies, like, love her. There's, like, whole compilations of, like, her voice coming on and babies, like,
This
smiling,
is
and
YouTube she's on? It's
I
called
don't
Miss
know. I
Rachel?
think so. Yeah, her name's Miss Rachel. She's, like, pretty big now. You have to know these things, Chrissy,
I
especially because
do. I have to know how to have a soothing voice.
um,
Miss
but,
Rachel
like
for babies, it comes right up. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
like, she's, like, the only
She
person
has
online I could think
so
of that is, like, wholesome
many
role model, like,
followers. I
for
mean, she
kids.
dresses like she is still currently in kindergarten,
Yeah,
but
I
that's
think she is
fine.
a kindergarten teacher maybe, or she is, like, or maybe she doesn't do that now because she has, like, this whole thing. But, like, other than her, off the top of my head, I literally don't who's a fucking role model on social media for people? Like, come on.
Ooh.
Like
Wow, look at these views.
yeah,
Holy
dude.
cow.
Like, there's, like, compilations of
Woo.
her voice coming on and, like, babies just, like, losing their shit, like, just totally being
What?
calm and happy and,
Hi,
like
friends.
yeah,
Today,
like, they,
I'm
like,
visiting
love
the
her.
doctor for a checkup. Have
There's
you
like
ever been to the
So
doctor?
she has a very
no
high pitched
one
voice.
like
I can
this.
I can do this
Wow.
voice.
I'm at Manhattan Valley
Hi.
Pediatrics.
Let's
When
go to
you
the
go to the doctor,
doctor.
your grown-up will be there.
I can buy overalls. I can do this. I love
Yeah,
stuffed animals.
yeah, exactly. But
And
who
look,
else
she's
is like
barely
a
got any
fucking
makeup
role
on.
model?
She's
bring
not
this
sweating
bunny.
her looks as much. She's just like, "Hi, grab an animal. Let's go."
Yeah, I don't know. She's like a baby whisperer, dude. Like, I don't know.
All right, as long as this is just her only job, she's not like a Disney adult or something. Like,
No,
it's just
no,
she
no.
looks.
She seems pretty
I mean, she
normal for,
could use a little bit of weight training. A few push-ups wouldn't kill her, but this is wholesome.
Oh, this is
yeah,
called
very.
a waiting
A
room.
waiting room.
Waiting
Oh,
room.
that's cute. Oh man,
But
I
like
should try
when
to.
girls say, I want to be a role model, bitch, please. You want to get stuff and you want to just not, that's not true. Like, stop saying that. Like, who is a role model? Like Alabama Barker or something? Like, she is like, how old is she? Like 16, and she looks like she's 40, and she literally looks like an
You know how you
adult.
can be a role model just by being good at what you do.
Yeah.
You can be a role
Just,
model to your
just
own
be
kids,
honest.
right? But just excelling, just being masterful in your craft, in your sport, that's role model enough. Like you don't need to do anything. You don't have to be good at sports and hot.
Mm-mm.
Like just be good. Just work hard.
Yeah, I don't know. That's she doesn't want to be a role model. She wants to be famous and be online, which is fine. But don't. I hate when people do that. Oh, I want to be a role model. No, you don't. No, you don't. You want to make money and go to
Right,
events
because
and do
who
it.
did
Like,
you
you
look
don't
up to
care
when you were a
about
kid? I
anyone.
looked up to my diving coaches. One was an 80-year-old woman
Mm,
who was like just great at teaching the fundamentals. She had such a kooky style that I picked up and I did as when I became a diving coach. She'd be holding you by your ankles upside down at the end of the diving board and hold you like that and wait till you got comfortable being upside down and backwards. Hold you for a while
nice.
and then let you go. And that's how she taught back dive. And then that's how I started teaching kids how to do back dive. And like, guess what? Like she's old and kooky, but no one ever really got hurt with her tactics. And like same thing, a kid never hit his head on the board under my watch. A kid never got hurt at all. I don't think. I
That's
can't think of
good.
any. And I also really looked up to my other diving coach that I had for the summer league, and he was like, again, he didn't worry. He listened to Tool. He had a lot of tattoos. He probably was on some drugs. I think he probably smoked weed, but I didn't really know what that was when I was 11. I just thought
Yeah.
he was so good at diving, and he was so tall. He was tall, lanky, like weird, but he was so good. And I was like, that's what I looked up to.
Yeah. Now I don't really know who kids look up to that's like a good role model. Like, even my friends' kids who are in school, like, all the kids there, they, like, wanna be YouTubers and TikTokers. I'm like, "Dude, not everyone can do that." That is, like, reality, and I'm just like, that's the only thing they ever say. Like, no one wants to be a fucking astronaut anymore or anything like that. They're just like, "I wanna be a YouTuber or TikToker." I'm like,
Yeah. There
hopefully TikTok won't exist in a few years if we're all lucky.
Although when I
'Cause
was little, I didn't say I wanna be an executive assistant for
no.
10, 15
Who
years
the
until
fuck
I
wants to do
but
that?
like that, but that's what I became. So, when I was little, I wanted to be a gymnast and a veterinarian.
Yeah.
Someone should have said, "Look, Chrissy, you're definitely not gonna have time to do both, and you're not good enough to be a professional gymnast. So why don't you just
Aw.
go to a zoo? Figure it out."
Go to a zoo. I think you have to, like, go to school to be a zookeeper too, don't you?
That would have
I'm
been
pretty
cool.
sure.
I could see myself doing that, being like a zoo girl.
Yeah. I was, like, kinda thinking about being a cop
I
because
could
I
see
don't
that
think
for
anyone
you.
wants to do it anymore, so I'm like, "Man, they probably need someone," so I'm about to just see what's up with that.
I could see you being a lady cop. Andrew Thomas, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Chrissy, and always sexy. LeeAnn, what am I not always sexy? I always appreciate your Twitch streams, LeeAnn. They are always fun and entertaining.
Thanks. I haven't been on there since, like, November.
Well, Andrew remembers. Push-ups. Didn't the FBI help you at one point? I don't think they helped me.
Me? Yeah, I talk to people at the FBI. Still. I've known the one since 2011. That's the one I give like info to, or but they literally don't really let them do anything most of the time. They literally tell them to fuck off because they don't care. There's a lot to that too that I probably
That's
can't say,
that's
but
frustrating. So
yeah.
what brought you to the point where it sounds like you always had a pretty like healthy relationship with your OnlyFans account. You didn't feel like you
Mhm,
had to, or like that's your primary income source. Like you have a regular job. You just did it for fun. What brought
mhm.
you to the point where you started thinking about quitting OnlyFans?
Well, it was like last year because like I make Halloween videos and I like to just be weird because it's Halloween. So now you can't do any of that on there. You can't use like fake blood or anything, which is so fucking stupid. So I couldn't upload a lot of things that I had. And then all the messages on there, I don't ever see them. If I reply to one, it'll still say it's unread. So I don't know if it's working. Like I've asked them a million times, it's still the same. And I just feel like it's so overdone. Like there's just it's so to the point now where it's not risque anymore. It's so out of control and borderline cringe that I feel like the pendulum is just gonna swing back the other way. Like it's just too much, man. It's too much. Every time I go on Twitter and I look at like Amaranth or anything like that, if she posts anything, or even Lena, the plug, all of the fucking messages are girls spamming their own OnlyFans. That is the
Really?
cringiest shit I've ever seen. I would never do that. Like they
What
have
do you mean
no
girls
shame, dude.
spamming their own OnlyFans? Do they have like other accounts?
I hate it. Like, why are you posting your shit under someone else's shit? Like, that has nothing to do with that in the first place. And I don't know, it's just getting more and more cringe to me. And it's just too much, man. It's not like risque anymore. It's not like controversial. It's so overly done to the point, just like all the Satan worshiping shit. It's like corny now. It's like so dumb to me that it's not. I'm like, I would rather, like, paint my house and people watch that. I feel like it would be more arousing
People
and
would watch that,
exciting.
LeeAnn.
Like, for me, dude, I would rather watch Amish dudes build a barn than, anything online because it's
With their
not
shirts off,
yeah,
preferably,
it's
if
not
they work out.
anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's just all I don't know, cringe to me. Like, I just see it and it's like secondhand embarrassment. Like, I'll see those girls on whatever, like the one girl that just like, "Oh, I have 100 bodies," and she's like 20. That's fucking disgusting. Like, it's
Which one?
cringy.
I feel like there's a girl like that on
There's so
every show.
many. They think it's, like, good, and I'm like, "What is wrong with you, dude?" Like, the looking is not touching, but, like, once you start getting into that, like, what is that like, what are you doing? Like, that's not, like, a flex, dude. That's disgusting. There's girls all over, TikTok and things are, like, literally bragging about, like, giving men STDs. 'Cause, "Oh, he cheated
Oof.
on me, so I got back at him and blah." I'm like, "Dude, what is happening?" Like, it's disgusting. Like, what is wrong
No,
with you,
it's
dude?
sad. It's part of, I'm gonna
It's
go
so
ahead and
gross.
blame feminism again. I think it's this defensive dating style. Like, I am gonna hurt
Mhm.
someone else before someone has the opportunity to hurt me. I'm gonna reject someone else before I can feel rejected. I'm gonna sleep with
It's
a
so
bunch of
weird.
dudes and leave them in the dust before I can get attached to somebody. They can cheat on me or sleep with somebody else, and then I
I
feel
hope some of
bad.
them are just trolling, honestly, because it's, like, to the point now, I'm like, I don't know. If you're serious, you have problems. Like, I don't know, dude. I'll just, like, watch them and I can't because it's so cringy, and I'm like, "Are you trying to be, like, controversial or, like" because it's not. It's so normalized now that you just look gross. So I'm like, I
And
don't
the
know.
right talks about, like, the pendulum swinging back, right, and,
Yeah.
bringing back family values, but it seems like the oversaturation of the market of OnlyFans and just like what you're saying, it becomes cringe, it becomes, like,
Mhm.
kind of pedestrian, it becomes, like, it's not risque or edgy anymore, everyone's doing
No.
it. It seems like
It's
that is sooner gonna be the thing that, makes women wanna leave the platform and maybe
mhm.
do other things.
It is. It's, like, not it's too much, dude. It's like, I don't do extreme things like that. Like, I never was like that. Like, I'm not gonna do, like, more and more extreme things to, like, get people to follow me and shit. Like, I'm just not gonna do that because that's not Like, no.
What do you put
Sorry.
basically, what were you doing on OnlyFans? Is it just like your regular
Me,
rants that
I
you
make
have
like
on?
weird stuff. Like I'll bake topless, or I talk about conspiracies topless and stuff like that. And just like, I don't know, it's just me solo. Like it's
Yeah.
not, I'm not gonna do things that are like, I'm not gonna shove like a million things in my butt or something like that. Like I'm just not
No.
gonna do
A
that.
million things wouldn't even fit.
No.
I think I could fit
Or
one
just
thing
any of it.
tops.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know, they just do weird things, or they act like little kids too, that's like a thing, it's so gross to me and weird,
Oh,
like infantile, and I
that's
mean,
gross.
it's weird, but I obviously people like it, and it's that fucking freaks me out. I'm like, "No, mm-mm." Like, you
I
want someone
think
that acts like a little kid?
that's
'Cause I'm
so
not doing that.
exhausting. I remember I had an ex who had kind of a kink like that where he wanted to be treated like a little baby, and it was, and I'm
You
like,
want
I
me to
always
put
like to
diapers
think,
on 'em.
I'll be a good girlfriend. I'm down
Mhm.
for mostly whatever. But it's like when your kink is so fucking weird like that, it actually takes me out of it. I don't feel like I'm bonding with a person or
No,
having a sexual experience with a
there's something
partner.
wrong
I
with
feel
you.
like now I'm a sex worker and now I'm catering to your strange kink that I can't
Mhm.
get on board with. I don't feel attached to you at all. I don't feel like we're
Wait, did he want you to,
bonding.
like, put diapers on him and shit? Or,
Not
like
diapers, just, like, talk to him, that
I'm
way
like,
and,
"Oh
like,
my god,"
hold him a certain
I'd be
way,
like,
and
"You know what?
I'm like, "Don't
Mm-mm."
you care about me? Doesn't anyone care about getting me off ever? Is that ever gonna be a
No,
thing
apparently
that's
not.
important?"
No.
Like,
Oh my
everyone
god,
like it
dude.
except for Frank. Frank's fantastic. Every other guy was, like, so damn high maintenance, like, never gave a shit about me. Like,
Oh my god. I think if
we
a
would talk
dude was like,
about
"Yeah, I want you to put a diaper on me,"
oh,
I'd call the
but
police
he had mom
immediately.
issues. He had severe mom issues, and
Yeah.
that's the thing, if you're not self-aware, some of your weird shit can turn up as a kink.
Yeah, it
So
could be weird, like, I don't, like, judge people, but for shit like that that involves, like, kid things, there's something else going on there, just because maybe because I just seen it a lot and I just know what to look for. But yeah, that freaks me out, man. I don't know. Like the girls doing that are catering to men that like kids, that's fucking weird,
that's
dude.
not
Like you
good.
got
You're really not
problems.
helping. It's like
No.
you
Like
gotta be the
you're
bartender that cuts somebody off at that point. You gotta be like, "Oh, this is not going in a good direction for anyone."
mm-mm. No. And I feel bad for the guys that just have like no life. Like that guy that spent all that money on that girl, Ruby Rose or whatever. Like, what are you doing?
Who's
Why?
that?
I don't know his name, but he, like, paid an absorbent amount of money just for her to answer him. Or, like, all these dudes that just have no life, they just spend all of their money on shit like this. Like, why are you doing that? Like, I don't
Because it's
want someone to do
easy.
that. You need to, like, have your own life and not be so immersed into someone that is never going to meet you or do anything. No matter what they say, they aren't, dude. Like, they're not going to. Okay. I don't do that to people. I tell them like I don't want to meet you. I don't want to lead people on or do anything like that because that's when you end up dead or stalked. Like I don't want any of that. So I also feel bad for the men that are just so lonely that they just spend all of their time and their money on
It
shit
is.
like
It's
that.
because you don't have someone to check you. You don't have, like, are you
No.
kidding me? Would think about it, like, would I love to be, I don't know, masturbating all day long and do no work and just eat coconut pie? And what else do I like to do? Shop online? Would I like to just spend all day at the mall all the time? Would I just like to be constantly buying shoes? Like, yes, of course, but, like, you can't live your life like that. You can't just
Mm-mm.
be indulging every little thing, and I think that the men that get, like, really spending way too much of their money on OnlyFans, really getting, like, too much into their sexual kinks, like,
Mhm.
obsessive nasal gazing, like, your sexuality is one part of you, and you have to keep balance. You have to, like you have to tend to the whole body, the
Mm.
whole soul, your friends. You gotta work. You gotta, like, make
Yeah,
money. You
man.
gotta make sure you're working out, and it's like it's when people go unchecked and you just, uh,
Yeah, they don't have
let
anyone.
yourself go
Yeah.
soft, basically.
I talked to several dudes that were like that, and I was like, "Dude, you need," when I was camming, I was like, "Stop spending all of your money, like, go do something for yourself, like, don't live in this world, like, it's not going to make you happy," and I'm like, "You spend all this money with me, and I know you're doing it with other girls, like, you're never gonna, like, have anything for yourself, and you're gonna be so caught up in this, and they're never gonna meet you or anything, nothing's gonna happen." I don't know, I don't like when girls do that either. I don't like when they lead them on, like, "Oh, yeah, you're my boyfriend online, and maybe we'll meet," like, I just don't think you should do that to people because it could really affect them, and or they can go crazy and start stalking you and shit like that, because that has happened to girls I know in my real life. Like at the strip club, the one girl left out the back and she kept leading this dude on for months and months and months and saying, "Oh, we'll go on a date." And he kept giving her money and giving, and she just wasn't. She was never going to. And he like waited for her and raped her, and she almost died because she didn't want to tip out. So she left out the back. And I mean, this has happened many times. And I'm like, stop doing that. Like, you're
Wow.
going to do that to the wrong person, and it's not going to be good for you because it's happened to people I know in real life. So I don't know. I just
Damn.
don't think you should do that to people. It's fucked up, but they do all the time. And then they're
It's
just
gotta
stuck in this
compromise
online world.
your soul, like, when your income is dependent upon, like, the degree to which you can lead somebody on.
I just
Yikes.
don't
I
know
mean,
how
it's
they
like
do that.
you're not using your powers for good, I think, but
Mm-mm.
I know a lot of people who it's like I had a friend the other day is like, "Yeah, I gotta make it seem like I wanna meet up with him in Atlanta, but I would," and it's like, "Damn."
That's a
This
dangerous
has gotta be
thing.
exhausting, and also, right, you piss the wrong guy off, and they show up on your doorstep.
I made a TikTok on my main account about this, which I should make another one because girls are still doing it, especially on TikTok. They're telling these young girls that, "Oh, well, just go on Seeking Arrangements and you can get a sugar daddy and just lead him on and he'll send you all this money and, send him pictures of your feet." That is not happening. Okay, that's not happening. No one's sending you thousands of dollars expecting nothing. Like, you're going to get
Right.
someone killed because they're going to go insane, and you're going to keep leading them on because it happens. And I'm like, stop telling girls that don't know anything to do this because they want them to use like their referral links and shit. Like, they get money when you sign up to OnlyFans or Seeking Arrangements. And I'm like, that is some scumbag shit, dude. Like, why would you do that? I'm like, you're going to get one of these girls like hurt or killed because you can't do that. They're going to want something from you, dude. There's no getting around that. I'm not just going to give you $1,000 for messaging them.
But they
Like,
make
come
it
on.
sound like that. Like, yeah, I've had people over the
Yeah, I
years be like, "Oh,
know.
yeah, you can make so much money. Just sell your underwear. Just sell pictures of your feet." And I'm like, "Well, it's not like that's not so easy." It's like, I
I
don't know,
mean,
it's a
it's not
part of your
easy, but you
soul. It's a
can.
part of you that you're
Yeah.
breaking off for somebody else, even if it's
I mean, you can sell pictures of your feet and stuff like that and not, but there's girls that are going on like sugar daddy sites and like leading them on. And these other girls on TikTok are telling them like, "Oh, just pretend like you're going to meet up with him and make plans and then, just keep doing it and have him keep sending
that's
you money." I'm like,
exhausting.
"Dude, you're going to make one of these dudes go nuts and get someone killed because they're going to want something, especially if you are saying that you're going to give them something. Like,
And
come
some
on,
guys
man."
don't know that they're getting the runaround. Some guys go, "Well, she's saying she wants to meet up."
Mhm.
And these are the guys
Yeah.
that get the catfished and shit. They're like, "Well,
Yeah, all the time,
I
man,
had an
all the
engagement
time.
ring all ready to go." You're like, "Oh, no."
Yeah, and then they're gonna go crazy and it's not gonna end well. I'm like, stop telling people to do that. Like, that's so fucked up. But then you have girls that lie about how much they make on OnlyFans too. They'll lie, and there's people on Fiverr that make fake OnlyFans statements. So they'll show it and they'll get them to sign up with the referral link, like, "Oh, look how much I made." But they're not actually making that. It's not easy to make money on OnlyFans whatsoever. It's really oversaturated, but the fact that they're making fake statements and then these girls are gonna think, "Oh, I'm gonna make all this money," and then they don't, and then they feel like shit, and then it gives them more issues because 'cause they're like, "Well, why aren't I making all this money and this girl is?"
And
But they're
here
not, like, they're
then
lying.
comes the pressure because if they're not feeling
Yeah.
like they're making enough money, they go, "God, am I not hot enough? Am I not doing enough?" And then there's that
Mhm.
pressure to keep upping the ante, keep putting more stuff in your butt, whatever it is, keep doing
Yeah.
wilder stuff.
Well, the one girl like fell for it. She turned 18 and I talked to her on TikTok after I made that video because she lost her
Which
boyfriend.
video
Her
was
family
it?
wouldn't
Can
talk to
I?
her. She made like $60 in 3 months. And that
Oh,
was it. So
damn.
she did all that for nothing. And I'm like, because girls are lying about how much they make. And I know why they lie because they're not worth as much as they thought that they were. So it's like embarrassing, but it's hard to make money on there, especially now. It's like very oversaturated. There's
So what
so
was it
many.
easier to a few years ago?
Yeah.
Not so much now.
Especially like before the pandemic, you might have had a better chance. But if you don't have like a following, it's gonna be harder, especially now. But yeah, it's not like they think they're signing up and they're going to make like thousands of dollars a month. That is not how that works. And so many girls lie about it. And I'm like, that's fucked up because now you're going to make other girls feel like shit because they're not doing what you say that they should be doing. So then they're like, oh, there is something wrong with me. And then they get more depressed. I'm like, that's fucked up to
Wow.
do. That's why I don't lie about it or like, dude, it's not easy. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, I make $1 million a month. Like, that is rare. That's
You
not
have to
like,
spend
oh,
God, just to do this podcast, like, just to shower and put makeup on to do an interview podcast, like, there's no way I'm doing that in less than 30 minutes. There's
mm-mm,
no way.
mm-mm,
So imagine if, like, my whole income relied on that's why I was like, it's so much time, money. It's like the amount of
it is,
outfits you
man.
have to buy constantly, like fresh lingerie, constantly like different locations,
Yeah, and then you don't make any
getting
money, and then you're like,
photographs,
wow.
and then the amount of time you have to spend, like we all know when we've like you first meet someone and you're in love and hours just banter back and forth. It's like that's what these people want, and you'll
Mhm,
have what 30 people in your DMs that expect that level of like intimate banter. You think you're gonna have anything left in the tank to maybe date
mm-mm.
or maybe have something for your own boyfriend? I doubt it.
Most people hire people to answer those DMs too. Like, there's just like dudes answering other dudes on there.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
they'll like
Habib.
hire someone to
Hello.
do it.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that either. That's weird to me. Like that's first of all, if you're telling them that it's you answering them, then it has to be you. Like I don't know. I just don't like that shit. Like why are you like pretending like it's you but it's not? And they think like they're spending money and they think it's you but it's really not. And I don't know. That's just fucked up to me. I don't know. I just wouldn't do that shit.
It's a little
It's like
misleading.
kind of it's like deceiving. I don't know.
LeeAnn,
I
do you
wouldn't
get
do that.
recognized out and about?
Me? Not
Yeah.
really. I mean, sometimes like here and there, but not really. Plus, I don't really ever go out like that. Like I'll go like downtown or stuff like that. But not really. I don't really do a lot of stuff unless it's like a museum or something of that nature. But sometimes when I go to Sheets, this like convenience
I
store,
love sheets.
like, sometimes, like, these high
It's like
school
a
boys
Wawa.
they'll know who I am or, like, they always
Really?
hit on me. I'm like, "Dude, I feel like I" the one guy I told him he's, like, in high school. I'm like, "I'm old enough to be your grandma," and he was so confused. He was just looking at me like, "Is she serious or not?" He still doesn't know if I'm serious or not, but
So the best place to meet LeeAnn is at the local sheets.
yeah.
I love a sheets. It's like a Wawa or a Quick Check.
Yeah,
I
they used to
always
have way
love
better food, but it's
I
kinda
always
like
love
went
about the sheets
downhill.
is you can get like little gifts, like little
Mhm.
like kitschy toys and things.
Yeah. Yeah, they do have, like, weird they have, like, those pop-out things and, like, I don't know, it's, like, weird shit.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much where I go, or, like, museums and stuff like that. I don't really I don't go out and drink or anything, so I don't see that many people on a day-to-day basis.
So what would your sort of formally quitting OnlyFans look like? Would you do like a final set of
Yeah, that's what I
posts? Would you transition
today, I
to
mean, it's supposed to be final February. I mean, it just depends. I'm not gonna, like, not if there's still people on there, I'm not just gonna, like, cut it off, especially if they paid for the month, and plus I have a few more things to post on there, but I don't know. even if I did something else, like at least Fansly has like tiers. So if you don't want adult things, I can like offer other things. And there is people that want to like just sit there and talk and ask me things about stuff. So you could just have like tiers on there instead of just like one thing. And plus, the guy that owns OnlyFans is a fucking douche
That's what I
anyway.
keep
So
hearing.
yeah, I didn't realize he bought that until not that long ago because I don't pay attention to that shit. And I was like, oh, of course he did. Because it's the same dude that has like my free cams and shit. Which,
Okay.
yeah.
Who owns OnlyFans?
Because I did Patreon, but I feel like Patreon does like hates people that are not woke. So I really don't want to like use that if I don't have to. Just because they like kick people
Leonid
off.
Radvinsky, that guy?
Yeah.
Leonid Radvinsky. Let's see. Wow. It
But I don't know
pays.
if Patreon's still like that or not. I haven't used it in a while, but there's like a lot of people that just want to like support me and stuff, but they don't want the adult stuff anyway. So I just don't
Yeah.
know a good site to use anymore because they're all so just I don't know. I don't want to support a site that like fucking hates me and
Yeah.
they're
So
like
this
woke.
guy, Leonid Radvinsky. How did I guess he would look like this? The
Yeah,
elusive
right.
owner of a porn empire. Oh man. Only 41. Ukrainian
Yep.
American entrepreneur. Net worth of 2.1 billion. He bought the company in 2018 from father and son team Guy and Tim Stokely, who started only 2
Stokely.
years earlier with a $12,500 investment.
Hmm.
Oh
That's
wow.
crazy.
He keeps
I
his
don't know if
personal
he
life
still
private.
owns the other thing, my free cams or whatever. I'm not sure. Wait, does my free cams even exist? I don't even know if it's there
It
anymore.
does. They're always a sponsor for like AVN, aren't they?
I have no clue.
My
AVN is hilarious to me.
Have you ever been?
What's that? No,
Have you
no.
ever gone? I think I went
Mm-mm.
I went once. I don't know if it was 2020 or 2021. It was when it was still at the Hard Rock, and I think they rebranded that hotel to be the Virgin
Mm,
Hotel. And it was
AVN.
interesting.
Mhm.
They should have had me doing like a red carpet. I was doing red carpet interviews, but I was kind of just like walking around, just doing it by myself. Like, hey
It's
guys,
funny
what's
to like
up?
have a red carpet, and it's like, what are the awards? Like most loads on Face, and you're seriously gonna get this award and like have it in your house. It's just the funniest shit to me, dude. Like they're real serious about it too, and I
Very
just
serious.
cannot take
It's
it
great for
serious.
people watching. It's yeah, I was doing some live streaming
Like you're
there.
getting an award for putting stuff in your butt. Like that's weird. Like what the fuck?
I mean, it's acting. It's,
Yeah, I don't think I'd want that in on my trophy case though, personally. Like, oh yes, I have this most bukkakied. I'm gonna try to outdo myself next time. Like, I don't know. It's just weird as fuck.
okay.
And they're like
An
real
award's an
serious about
award, LeeAnn, okay?
it. It's real serious though. I have this award though from you. The truthful
Yes! Oh my
thought
god,
award.
show the people. What was
Yeah,
your
it's the truthful thought. I don't know if you could see it. You
Oh,
can't. It's
yeah,
like from
that was from
Content House.
the
So that's
Housepiece.
a good one
You
though.
did not have to put anything in your butthole for that award.
No, no, no. I don't know. It's just a funny concept to me that there's like a red carpet and like Iggy Azalea. Wait, did it already happen, that award show?
Yes.
It did,
Yeah,
right?
it
Yeah.
was in January.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, that's just so funny to me that that's like a thing.
It was like a who's who. I met, Manuel Ferrara at the Dunkin' Donuts. I saw Bella Danger at Dunkin' Donuts, and, it's just interesting. It's like I don't view them like quite like celebrities. I'm kind of
Yeah.
fascinated with them. Like, how did you get into the industry? What do you love about it? Um, yeah.
I don't even know any I don't know any porn stars like by name, except like Riley Reid, Lana, but I don't even think they do that anymore. Mia Khalifa, 'cause she's a giant bitch. But other
Yeah.
than that, I don't know. I can't remember. Like, I don't know who's, like, a big porn star now, really, and I have no clue.
Who's big now? I think, probably still Riley Reid, Angela White, Bella Danger. God, and then
Mm.
there's one who, OD'd on fentanyl. What the hell was her name? My friend Gigi just told me about her. Emily Willis.
Oh, wait, I seen something about that she was, like, a porn star, but I just seen that right before we came on, and they said she was in, like, critical condition. Like,
This is
oh my
so
god.
sad. Yeah, let me pull this up. Yeah, she is beautiful.
Well, this girl
Emily
I know died because I had to ask Gigi if it happened at ABM because there was a rumor that a lot of girls at ABM were, like, getting OD'd or whatever, so I asked Gigi
Oh,
because people were,
damn.
like, spreading this,
Yeah.
and Masumi Max, who I've known her since, like, MySpace days, and
Uh-huh.
she died, and I could not fucking believe it. I don't know
Oh,
what she died
no.
from. I don't know if it was that or not, but all within, like, days, like, Jessie Jane and then her, and I was like, "What is
Yeah.
happening?"
Jessie Jean was
Like,
also
I
fentanyl and her boyfriend.
oh god.
My god, she's
Well,
stunning.
we're just, like, doing other because this girl I helped who was trafficked died a couple months ago, and I talked about it because she didn't do drugs. She just went to her first rave and
Mhm.
took Molly or what MDMA, and it was laced with it, and she ended up dying. Like, she literally just got her life together and was just having fun, and her and her friends took it, and she ended up ODing because it was laced with fentanyl. Like, she didn't do fentanyl, it was just in there. And she just had no
Jeez.
idea. So, that's so sad. You
Wow.
can't even take Molly or anything anymore. Seriously.
No, don't do any of it. Do
No,
none of
you
it.
can't.
It's
You have
not
to, like,
worth it.
test it.
No drug is worth it. Sorry, I think weed is a complete waste of time. Vaping is a complete waste of time. Uh, it's for idiots. Like,
Yeah, like, I wonder if that's what happened. Like, she just was doing, like, Molly or something, and it had that in there because that's happening a lot. Like, even I know people are still gonna do it, but you really need to test it because it's just crazy how much shit is laced with fentanyl, and
wow, it's
people
everywhere.
are dying.
Yeah,
So, if you do that, just fucking test it.
and the
They
people
sell
that
the
sell these
testers.
drugs willingly know. They know
Yeah.
it's cheaper because what happens a lot is people will get on the prescription drugs, the opioids, and then
Mhm.
they will want the same kind of high, but they don't wanna spend as much, and that's when people start dabbling in, like, fentanyl and
Yep.
tranq and, all this other nasty shit.
But even people that do coke, just drinking, are ODing because it's being laced. Everything is fucking has laced fentanyl in
Because
it.
fentanyl's just cheaper and it's prolific.
I'm like, I sold drugs when I was younger, okay, because I grew up in that kind of whatever, and not one drug dealer I knew would ever want their customers to be dying. So I don't know if they're lacing it or if the
Mm,
people because who the fuck wants to kill their customers? Like, I don't understand this. I'm like, who's
yeah.
doing this? I'm like, not I don't know why they would want to do that, or I don't know. It's just very strange. I know
It's
people are
not
still
worth
gonna do
it,
drugs.
but I can understand in an industry where maybe you're like, you need to kind of escape. You need like that vice to.
Yeah, man, like, that's so crazy. You really need to test it, man. I know people are still gonna do it, so just at least do that because it's not worth it. Because it's just crazy. It's so many people now, like, so many people just partying. It's crazy. Yeah, it is. It's way too strong for most people, especially if you don't take it every single day of your life.
I
Like,
heard
yeah.
something that they give it to women when they're giving birth. I don't want anything. I honestly at this point don't care how much pain I'm in. Like I don't even want an epidural. Like
Dude,
I
my
don't
dad
know.
was dying of cancer, like, just had bottles of morphine, bottles and he had a fentanyl patch that was 25 milligrams. My stepmom put it on him, and from the chemo, his skin was so dry, and it sucked in so fast, he was blacking out and telling her to get it off, so she had to rip it off, and she was high for, like, 12 hours just from getting it on her fingertip. So, like, I can't even
What?
imagine
Wow.
Like, that shit is insane. Like, my dad was on so many things because he was dying, and if that made him do that, like, that's insane.
Mhm.
Yeah, they put that shit in heroin now, and, like, it's crazy. I seen
Yeah,
some
I
lady
agree.
that
I
had
agree. Drugs are for weak people. Just don't even
yeah,
it's like, no. It's like if you're tending towards that, it's because you're trying to escape something that will still be there when you come down from whatever it is. It's a waste of
mhm.
your time and money, and it's
I seen someone that had a fentanyl lollipop. I didn't even know that's, like, a thing. It's a prescription. They give them to, like, cancer patients. I don't know if they still make them, but it's literally a lollipop, and it's, like, a small white, and it's fentanyl. I'm like, "Are you fucking
yeah.
kidding me?"
And now
Like,
they
that is
have
for
these,
dying
uh
people.
straight out of Wuhan, they make and get to America this type of, I think it's powdered fentanyl or powdered trank. Like they make it specifically for the US drug market, and it's like coming from a Wuhan
Mhm,
lab. It's like when you start seeing all this stuff, you're like, "Oh, yeah, of course. They're trying to kill us. They're
mhm.
trying to wipe us out from every
In
direction they
any way they
possibly can."
possibly can.
Yeah.
Just insane to
Russell
me.
Hall, Alex Stein needs to stop taking fentanyl. He's not. He's just high on life.
Yeah.
Gosh, did I hear correctly that the Pearl is live in studio with Alex Stein right now? Could that be true?
Oh, boy.
Let's see. Is he live right now?
She probably definitely would.
Oh yeah.
She'll go on anything, even if it means they're gonna be talking shit to her.
Okay, let's see. Maybe he'll go on. Oh yeah, he comes on a little bit later.
She'd
Did
be
you
cool if
see?
she actually meant anything that she said, but the fact that she doesn't and just says it just to say it for attention and stuff, like, if you actually believed it, that's one thing, but you could tell that she doesn't, and I don't care what anyone says, she does not believe anything she says.
I kind of agree. Daniel Jagger, kind of weird fact. ERs use small doses of coke for uncontrollable nosebleeds. Stein is interviewing Pearl tonight. Okay, cool.
Do
I'll
they
have to tune
really?
into that. That's nuts.
Hmm. I used to have
Uh,
really bad nosebleeds as a kid, but I don't remember them ever giving me coke.
no. Russell Hall, stop enabling him. That's not what friends do. Oh, I guess that's true. Have you seen this trailer, LeeAnn? It's this Robbie Starbuck, I guess, documentary that's going to be coming out on Twitter.
Are they intentionally sexualizing our children and stealing their innocence?
I think that's right.
TikTok specifically is designed to target young people. That's who their audience is.
Have children died because of social media?
Absolutely.
Have they been trafficked off of social media?
100%.
Have they been sexually exploited off of social media?
Ongoing. Yes. I'm scrolling on TikTok. I see little kids with TikTok. What are they looking at?
This is what you don't want kids to see. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And again, this is depicting children. This is supposed to be kids.
Well, honestly, I didn't even know that transition from female to male was an option until I was on social media and began being exposed to those type of communities.
You've never seen a 18-month-old masturbating?
No, I haven't. Have you seen any sexually explicit drag shows marketed as all ages for kids that you would denounce or think that are a problem and that you want to distance yourself from?
No.
You know this is wrong.
So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to end the interview.
Sexualize kids at a young age, or being young, right?
It just seems like there's no moral, construct at all.
Are kids facing just the absolute worst onslaught of grooming that we've ever seen?
Yes, the entertainment industry is sexualizing children for an agenda.
Your daughter was secretly transitioned at school.
The policy has to do with children as young as 5 all the way through high school.
Penthouse footed the bill to lobby before state boards of education. Yes, Penthouse and Playboy.
Damn.
The history behind this is far darker than most Americans understand.
It's disgusting.
Do you think the big tech companies at this point are essentially aiding and abetting human traffickers and people who are
Yes.
working to exploit children?
Absolutely.
If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system?
There is misinformation presented that somehow that we're doing surgery on minors or even children, and that simply is not true.
How old were you when they gave you a double mastectomy?
It was a month after my 13th birthday.
Ultimately, we're going to talk about, are they going to give, the counselor's going to give them medication there at school without their parents' permission? I mean, I think we're leading towards an absurd and horrific time.
Well, first of all, we weren't forewarned we would be sharing a locker room. We had no idea. I turned around, a 6'4", 22-year-old man, fully intact with an exposing male genitalia.
This ideology is killing our kid.
Do you think more people need to speak up to protect kids like your daughter?
Yes, I do.
Well, I think from heaven she can see how hard you fought for her.
Do you feel like this is a war on children?
I know it's a war on children, but like they said, we're coming for your kids.
Yeah.
And they have.
Woo! Landon Starbuck looks like Courtney Hawks. I thought that was Courtney Hawks for a second.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my God, this looks really good, but it's just, yeah, they're putting together everything.
That's why I took all my shit off of Pornhub, because I have tried for years for them to have some sort of something. Just make people pay $1. If they don't want to give their ID to prove how old they are, that's their own fucking problem. Go get it somewhere else, because Pornhub is huge and they try to do all these good things like save the bees and education. Well, if you're going to do that, you have to do something. Like you can't let people just upload victims and shit and not have any verification. Like if they're not doing anything wrong, then it shouldn't be a big deal to pay $1, give them your ID so they could prove who they are, and then they can get paid if they want to upload. No, they just won't do it. And I'm like, I don't understand why. Like why?
Because they profit too much off of it. Like they
I
know
took
what
all
they're
my shit
doing.
down. They will not take my account off. Like I had to just change all the pictures. I left all the stuff about trafficking up on there, but I like changed none of my pictures. I took all that shit off because they won't take your account down. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be on here.
Arden
anymore.
Young is someone I had on the show a couple weeks ago, and she's like the Pornhub whistleblower that went undercover and just basically like broke the story. Like she went on this date with this guy who was like the head of content at Pornhub, and just basically called him out and everything. Like, yeah, do you know yes, we know we're profiting off it. Oh, but he's able to compartmentalize. Just be like, well,
it's disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't. All these people are gonna go to hell. Even if they don't believe in hell, there's a special place that you'll go then. That's hell-like. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
But Bob's Rusty Trumpet 1-year anniversary of DabbleCon. Shout to you, Queen. Happy DabbleCon anniversary to you, Bob. That was fun. Interesting. So you think, yeah, it was basically a stuttering John.
Yeah, I remember that. That shit is so funny though that you put DabbleCon. Aren't you guys cool now though? You're like cool.
Kind of, yeah. I don't really keep up with what he's doing as much as some other shows do, but yeah, I don't have time for that. So what would this look like? So do you think you'll give it till the end of the month on OnlyFans? Do you think you'll just see how it goes?
Yeah, at this point, I said it's probably like the end of February, but I'm not going to take it down if there's still people like that paid. So I'll just wait till it gets down low, and then just take it off probably. So it's just not, I don't know. There's too much going on. I don't even think people really care anymore anyways. So
no, I think people that already like you don't even really. I know this sounds weird, but like probably don't need to see you naked. Like people like you for your personality.
Yeah, they don't want that at all. They don't want that anyway.
Like, oh, I can't see her naked anymore. Goodbye.
Yeah, like I don't have a problem with nudity at all. It's just like at this point though, it's just so it's too much. It's just too much, dude. Like it's too much, and plus I really do want to run for Congress, so I probably like I'm not gonna hide it obviously, but like I don't want to have that. So
when would you do that? That's exciting.
I've been talking to people. Like, I really want to do it though, so I don't want to just like. There was like some girl that was on OnlyFans. It's like, oh, I'm gonna run for Congress and get money through OnlyFans. Nothing. I don't even know what her name was. I don't know what happened to her. Like Steven Crowder had her on, and she wasn't serious. And I was like, man, you're gonna make it hard for me because I am fucking serious. Like, I don't want to just do it. Like, oh, I'm going to. No, I want to fucking do it because these people need to be stopped. And plus, I don't care. I don't care about being threatened. I don't care about money. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll do it and fuck that, dude. I'm getting sick of this shit. So,
When would that process start?
I mean, I'm like talking. I've been talking to people in oil and gas just because I will accept money from that industry because I agree with that industry for the most part. It's not perfect, but I don't want to take money from places that I have to be like beholden to because I refuse. That's how we got in this mess in the first place because they just take donations and money and bribes. And no, like, I just need the money to run. So,
Right.
because it's like the minimum is $275,000. Why? I have no idea. No fucking idea. It should not be like that at all. So,
Jeez.
yeah, I'm trying to find places where I am fine taking the money to do this and not from places that I don't agree with or I'm gonna have to like do shit because I won't. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to do that. It's like a lot of work. They make it as hard as possible, and this is
Oh
why
yeah.
normal people don't run because it's so much money and it's so much you have to do, and it's ridiculous. They make it like this on purpose, so only rich people and the people rich people want can get in there. But if we like crowdsource each other, if people want to run, then I think we could do it. I think if you just we have to crowdfund though and stuff or take money from
Yeah.
organizations that you like and trust or believe in so you're not like beholden to the fucking George Soroses of the world. So
Well, I'm
plus you can't be
excited. Let me know
scared.
how I can help you. This is very exciting. You'd be the first
Yeah, I
politician
think
that
more
I'd be.
people need to start running for local things, just like Forest Mommy Jessica did.
Yeah.
And like, who cares? I might not win, but I will fucking try. Like, look at our
Yeah.
fucking country, dude. Like, it's insane. I'm sick of this shit.
I love that. Okay, well, we'll have to do another episode about your congressional run as soon as that pops off. I believe in you, LeeAnn. You can do it. You're the shit.
Thanks. I mean, I'll try, man. I don't know. Maybe I won't win, but I don't know what else to do at this point because I'm just so fucking over this shit, dude.
I
Like,
know.
I get so pissed every day. Like, these people do not deserve to be in Congress. They don't deserve any of this shit. They don't care about us. They fucking hate our country, clearly. Like, look at it. It's
Yeah.
insane.
We should help you create a motto like don't be a boob, vote for LeeAnn. I don't know. We'll think about it.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it. But
Yes,
yeah, I don't hide anything. That's another thing. Like, people need to change their perception on what they think a politician should be. Like, a politician isn't perfect. It's just normal fucking people, not snobby, rich assholes,
Mhm.
because this is why we're in the mess that we're in. Like, I'm not perfect, man. I just love the country. And yeah, they can't threaten me because I don't care if I die and I don't care about money. So good luck with that.
I love it. You're
Mhm.
unfuckwittable.
Nope. Don't
Well,
care.
I'm gonna join your team, whatever you need. If I have to hand out flyers in a bra, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yes, we will be rating Drunk 3PO's channel as soon as this concludes. I just popped the link in the chat, and there will be a redirect going to Drunk 3PO's channel. But before we do, LeeAnn, what's coming up and where can people follow you other than OnlyFans, which you will be getting off of?
Just Twitter, which is LeeAnn Star. It's on there, right there. And I'm starting a podcast. Hopefully next week it'll be.
Yes.
It's only on Rumble because I can't censor myself, but I called it Constitutional Thoughts.
I love that.
THOTS.
That's so
Yeah, I put
cute.
like the header up on Twitter and stuff, but I haven't really said anything about it because I'm still like setting up. I need to learn how to use Rumble, like their alerts and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to like get this rum bot and stuff. I don't know. It's so confusing. I don't know. So I'm still doing that and redoing all this back here. That's why it's all fucked up. But yeah, that's
Very
Rumble is the same
exciting.
as this.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much about it.
I can't wait for the new
Right now,
podcast.
anyways.
Yeah, Rumble,
Yeah.
I've been having a little bit of trouble with them. Usually my stuff just copies over to to Rumble, but I don't think it's been doing it for a while. So I have to look into what happened there.
Yeah, it's really hard to find a tutorial on how to do this. So if anyone is watching and knows how to fucking set that up, like on their live streaming, because it's really confusing. I have the Rumbot thing, but it's still not like there's no videos that are like cohesive and informative where you could follow along because I still have no fucking idea what they're talking about. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out though.
Good. I'm excited. You definitely should have your own show. You are just hilarious and opinionated, and
Oh,
you're all of the
thanks.
things.
Thanks. I
Oh,
love
LeeAnn,
you.
I love you too. Thank you for coming on. Everyone follow LeeAnn. Thank you to everybody in the chat for your comments and questions. And yes, we will be rating Drunk 3PO's show. What should we say? Yeah, you could just say hi from Chrissie Mayr raid. I don't know. Think of something, guys. You're clever enough. Love you all, and we will see you next time. I actually come back here at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Working all the time.
Oh, we're gonna be working. Yeah, come back here. Come back here at 9 p.m. and I'll see you guys then. Bye.